as if Donald Trump wasn't marched into the jail in Fulton County by fat Fani. Excuse me, I think she's fat. Maybe she's just healthy. And he's getting some bad advice. And he's probably needs to clean house, fire some more people. So evidently, the Democrats and this left-wing media are upset because they're saying Donald Trump is ordering the Department of Justice to go after its political opponents. Now, who runs the Department of Justice, right? Who's in charge of it? Who's in charge of her, right? So Pam Bondi runs it. Donald Trump is in charge of Pam Bondi. This whole idea that the Department of Justice is some independent body is the absolute most stupidest thing there ever was. You don't remember Eric Holder? I mean, did we just forget about Eric Holder, how he was held in contempt of Congress? You know what happened to him? He was held with the same charge, essentially, that Steve Bannon went to prison for, Peter Navarro went to prison for. But now they're saying, oh my gosh, Trump is telling the Department of Justice to go after political enemies. No, he's saying, listen, if there is nefarious activity, you go find it. And just because it happens to be a Democrat, are we supposed to not prosecute them now? This is ridiculous. Listen to these fools over at CNN just rant and rave. Like as if Donald Trump wasn't marched into the jail in Fulton County by fat Fani. Excuse me, I think she's fat. Maybe she's just healthy. And got a mugshot. Right? Do we forget about that? Do we forget about Donald Trump with the mugshot? And they're saying, oh my gosh. I mean, Pam Bondi hasn't arrested anybody yet. And now they're saying that my God, they're just toting water for him. Roll the clip.
Imagine if a whistleblower came forward and said the President of the United States told his Attorney General in a private Oval Office meeting that she's not doing enough to target his political opponents, and that he listed by name the people he wanted her to go after and explicitly tied it to his desire for vengeance. Well, whistleblowers need not apply right now because this president did all of that out in the open. Here are the president's own words on his Truth Social platform over the weekend. Quote, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adams, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. He went on to say, we can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times. Over nothing, justice must be served now. Now, that post on Saturday night came after the president fired the U.S. attorney in Virginia, whom he appointed after prosecutors there did not believe they had enough evidence to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James. Weak. President Trump plans to install his former personal attorney with no experience as a prosecutor to oversee that office. Despite that step, his own comments, President Trump did tell reporters he's not involved in Justice Department decisions.
No, I just want people to act. They have to act, and we want to act fast. You know, they were ruthless and vicious. I was impeached twice. I was indicted 5 times. It turned out to be a fake deal. And we have to act fast, one way or the other, one way or the other. They're guilty, they're not guilty, we have to act fast. I think Pam Bondi is going to go down as one of the best attorney generals of the ages.
Have you ever threatened DOJ leadership if they don't prosecute with this case?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I mean, I look at the facts like everybody else. You read the facts, and to me, she looks terrible. She looks like she's very guilty, but that's going to be up to the DOJ.
I'm joined by a terrific group of reporters here at the table today. Our own Stephen Collinson, Tia Mitchell of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
All right, pause over here, Brett. So let's go back to the tweet that, Brett, see if you can find that tweet. It'll be on Twitter somewhere. So here's what they're saying. They're saying that Trump is quoting people. He's saying, Pam, there's people out here saying that we're not doing anything. Pam, there's people out here saying that we are dragging our feet. We have to move swiftly. And it's blowing their minds, the left wing, because Donald Trump is doing this out in public. Do you, for one instance, think that Barack Obama just sat back and didn't direct Eric Holder or the IRS to go after conservatives? You've lost your doggone mind. And now that Donald Trump is doing this out in public, and I don't even think that the tweet that they're referring to is directed him. Let's read this tweet again. It says, I reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially, and here's the quote right? So here's CNN is putting this quote up as if it's coming straight out of his mouth. He's saying, I have reviewed them. Okay, so let's look at what's going on. He's saying, same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but we know that. But nothing is going to be done. That was a quote. Donald Trump is quoting what he's seeing on social media. Then he says, after that, he says, then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia. He doesn't know this guy personally. These are some of these rhinos that are bringing these recommended positions to him. He doesn't know who these people are. He's taking the advice, and he's getting some bad advice, and he's probably needs to clean house, fire some more people. In Virginia, with a really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. See, CNN quit reading all this. That's why two of the worst Democrat senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him. And there is a great case, and many layers and legal pundits say so. Lindsey is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. Pam Bondi, you've got to step up and do your job. That's all there is to it. I'm from Tampa, Florida, just north of Tampa, Florida, actually, a little country county just north of Tampa Bay, Florida. I remember when Pam Bondi was the state's attorney, the attorney for Hillsborough County, the district attorney for Hillsborough County, Florida. And then she was brought to the state level. She was always done a really good job. At least she talked it. But you're in a different league now. You're in the major leagues, and it's time to just, Pam gets out in front of the cameras and just yells and screams. But at some point, all the yelling and screaming has got to be done. And you've got to take action. That's what we like about DeSantis here in Florida, and like him as a governor, is that he basically speaks softly but carries a big stick. DeSantis doesn't play around. He takes action. He's not getting in front of the cameras, yelling and screaming, getting in a peeing contest with a lot of different people. He takes action. Pam, that's what you got to do. You got to step up. And that's what President Trump is saying, and we're saying it for him as well. You need to step up, make this type of stuff happen, and let's see what we can get done. Let's roll some rest of this clip, Brett. Let's see what we got.
CNN's Manu Raju and Evan Perez. Evan, you cover the Justice Department. What are you hearing from your sources who work there, whether they're appointed or civil servants?
Look, it feels like the chaos of Trump season 1 has now sort of bled into season 2. And, part of the thing that we've kind of all observed in this administration is that there seemed to be a lot more discipline about how things were being done. Obviously, he has very loyal people inside the department who are doing exactly what he wants them to do.
That's
and so
the
the
point.
fact that this sort of outburst that came from the president on Saturday, where some people were interpreting it to be perhaps a DM that was it was an intended DM that actually went out.
Meaning it was supposed to be private, but he accidentally did it public.
We don't know.
Well,
yeah,
I don't think so.
I think there's a difference of opinion on
Yeah.
this, but
The
the
president
fact remains,
accidentally
it's very
DMs
unusual for the
them. They're so
president to do this,
stupid.
any president to do this, and the problem with it is not so much that he is leaning on the department. The fact is that what he's done is he's damaged those cases. So even obviously the case against Letitia James, the investigation. Inside the Justice Department, they don't believe that there's enough evidence to support it, but there are other cases that are now ongoing in that office, and by doing what he has done, it has now damaged those cases that may actually be ones that could go forward. And so the problem for that is that now the defense attorneys for those people, essentially the president has written their briefs for malicious prosecution, because that's what is going to be the defense.
Yeah, I mean, look, there used to be some semblance independence with the Justice Department and the White House. Of course, there's always politics at play in the DOJ, but in this administration,
all right, that's enough of this, Brett. These guys, there is no independence, right? I mean, we've established that clearly through Obama, Holder, Biden. You have weak guys like William Barr, Jeff Sessions. Remember that clown? Remember Jeff Sessions, who stepped up and acted like he was going to do something? Trump has appointed these weak attorney generals. And I hope Pam Bondi doesn't turn out to be one, but if she doesn't get something done, what they're basically saying is that by Trump saying this stuff on social media, now the defense for whoever they decide to bring bring charges against, will be able to say these are just attacks, political attacks from the president, and a judge will throw that out. It'll go to appeals court, and it'll eventually work its way through. But nevertheless, some action's got to be taken because we're all fed up. Do your job, Pam. See you next video.